Okay, great. Thanks everyone for joining our webinars today. My name is Eliza, and I am a founder of digital platform called Discovery. So we help people to discover the new potential in life. So what does it exactly mean? So it means your financial or career situation, your first impression, and your health. Is it a health, physical or mental health? And today we are having a new series of our webinar. It's called Body and Mind Connection, with three experts on the market at the moment who are working with us. They are certified coaches and nutrition specialists, and I would like to introduce all of them. So first one is Danna. She's a personal trainer and nutrition specialist, and she's going to talk about today the immediate implementation of exercises and how exercises impact your body and mind. Danna, Levy Hoffmann, she is a certified health coach and nutrition specialist, and she's going to talk about the healthy nutrition lifestyle and what you should eat. And we have also Ewav. Eva is going to talk about very easy step of detoxify your body. And she's also a holistic health coach and nutrition specialist. So I think first we are going to start with Danna. So Danna.
Hello. Hi, thank you, Eliza. So my name is Danna Chirouzes, and I am a personal trainer and nutrition coach at Benefit. I have a background in nutritional and exercise sciences, as well as scientific research. So I've been a personal trainer now for about 15 years, and I'm really passionate about helping people live healthy, active lives. So currently I'm residing outside of Geneva, Switzerland. So I do in-home and outdoor training primarily, but I also do some online distance coaching all over the world. So I would like to start off with a question. What if I told you there was a medicine that made you feel better and look better, that helped you live longer, that was suitable for any age, whether you were 3, 33, or 99, that you could take both to help prevent as well as treat chronic diseases such as dementia, depression, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, some cancers, and more, that had little to no side effects, and best of all, it was free. Would you take it? Well, interestingly, doctors are rarely writing prescriptions for it. And even though it's widely available, most people don't get enough of it in order to have it work effectively. So what is this wonder drug? It's exercise. Exercise is medicine. So what is exercise? How is it different than physical activity? And how much should we be getting? So physical activity is basically any movement that's carried out by the skeletal muscles that requires energy. Basically, any sort of movement is actually physical activity. And typically, we classify these into 3 different categories by intensity level: light, moderate, and vigorous intensity. So light activity, light physical activity would be something like a leisurely stroll while walking. Moderate physical activity would be brisk walking. And vigorous activity would be more intense, something like running. Okay, and what's the difference between physical activity and exercise? Well, exercise is a planned, structured, repetitive, and intentional movement, and it's specifically designed it's specifically scheduled in order to improve or maintain our physical fitness levels. So how much of this medicine should we be getting in order to achieve health benefits? Well, based on the physical activity guidelines for Americans from the US Department of Health and Human Services, there's 2 different categories. There's aerobic activity, or cardio, as we call it. So for that, adults should do at least 150 to 300 minutes per week of moderate intensity activity. That's 2.5 to 5 hours per week, or 75 to 150 minutes a week of vigorous intensity aerobic activity. That's about 1 hour, 15 minutes to 2.5 hours per week, or a combination of the two. And this aerobic activity, the cardio, should be spread throughout the week, ideally. So you're not waiting until, Saturday to do all of that. On the other side, in addition to the cardio, it's recommended to do muscle strengthening activities of moderate or greater intensity, and that involve all the major muscle groups of the body on 2 or more days a week, because these activities provide additional health benefits. A third facet of the physical activity guidelines for Americans in general is just to move more and sit less throughout the day, and that some physical activity is better than none. And I'll go into furthermore physical inactivity and the fact that we're sitting an awful lot these days. So only about 20% of adults are meeting these recommendations on a regular basis. So the majority of us are living a very sedentary lifestyle. And this has very negative effects, okay? So sedentary behavior is, either sitting, reclining, or being in a lying posture. So of course, sleeping counts, and then sitting. Think about, based on modern life and technology advances, all the time we're spending on screens, in front of the TV and on our mobile devices, we just spend so much time not moving, okay? Think of all the chairs that you sit in, okay? You sit probably now in your home office at your office desk. When you eat, you probably sit in your kitchen, or in your dining table on a chair. You sit in your car. If you take public transport, you sit in the bus or the train. You even sit on the toilet, okay? We're doing so much sitting throughout the day. Don't realize it. And typically when you sit, your posture is not very good. Tend to slouch forward, all right? And this really results in neck pain, back pain, and I'm sure you know someone who's suffering from that sort of pain. So you are how you move, and so you are how you move, and if you're sitting all day, then you're going to get stuck in that position. And perhaps you've heard of this phrase that says, sitting is the new smoking. Well, in fact, sitting is an independent risk factor for chronic diseases. So if you go to the gym for an hour after sitting all day at your desk for 8 to 10 hours, actually one doesn't cancel out the other. So the fact that you're sitting 8 to 10 hours at your desk all day is a problem in itself. It's increasing your risk for chronic diseases. So why? What happens? Well, while you're sitting for these long periods of time, your body's metabolism changes. Your body's metabolism slows down about 90% only after about 30 minutes of sitting. Okay, the muscles in your lower body turn off, and after about 2 hours, your good cholesterol even drops by about 20%. So this webinar is focused on the mind-body connection. So let's discuss how this wonder drug, exercise, promotes both the mental and physical health of our bodies. So let's start off with the physical health benefits. So what happens when physiologically or physically when we exercise? We breathe faster, the lungs start working harder, your heart rate increases in order for your heart to pump out blood and oxygen to your working muscles, all right? So overall, your physical health benefits are, you're going to help maintain a healthy weight, stay strong and fit and independent, reduce overall systemic inflammation, and strengthen your immune system. All right, there's many, many benefits. In the long term, it really reduces your risk for diseases, chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and some cancers. So for example, after a single exercise session, the muscles do actually release natural substances called myokines, all right? They're chemicals, messengers that go throughout the body, and they result in, for example, helping to relax your blood vessel walls, lowering your blood pressure, both reducing your LDL or bad cholesterol while increasing your good or HDL cholesterol. Then the glucose or blood sugar that you have in your bloodstream gets kind of promoted to go into the cells where it's actually needed. In addition, it lowers insulin levels and just overall reduces inflammation. Another benefit is that actually exercise stimulates the growth of new blood vessels, which is called angiogenesis, and this is involved in cancers. Now, one of the things that most people come to me for is they come to me because they want to help to know how to exercise to lose weight, all right, and look better. So, in fact, exercise really helps for weight management, helps for losing weight, but more importantly, it helps to keep weight off for the long term. And we know that yo-yo dieting, okay, is weight going up and down is really problematic for the body. So exercise helps with long-term weight maintenance of weight loss. Exercise helps strengthen bones and muscles. So in particular, as we begin to age, we begin to lose muscle mass. In fact, you have a reduced risk of falling, all right, which is important for our aging population, as well as injuries from those falls. So for example, hip fractures, which can really be life-changing events and lead directly to death. So many people some people might have some sort of autoimmune disease or something like arthritis, something that's a painful condition, and they might avoid exercise when in fact they should be doing the opposite and allowing their bodies to do as much exercise as they possibly can allow, all right, because it has positive effects on their conditions. And lastly, let's talk about immune function, because I think we have heightened awareness these days with the coronavirus that the immune system is very important to help fight different pathogens and diseases and viruses. So in fact, exercise stimulates the interchange of immune system cells and in between the compartments of lymph tissue as well as blood. All right, so there's a lot of movement of waste products, etc., that your body can get rid of itself. And just in general, your inflammation is reduced. So let's move on to the mental health benefits. So there's a lot of physical health benefits. In terms of the mental health benefits, basically, you know, you have effects on cognition, anxiety, mood, depression, quality of life, sleep, and more. So what happens when you exercise? You have increased blood flow to the brain, all right? And this promotes improved brain function, basically almost making you smarter and more productive, all right? So there's a boost in mood. You have a surge of chemical messengers in the brain called neurotransmitters. So for example, a boost in endorphins, perhaps you've heard of the runner's high, all right? An additional neurotransmitter which is increased is serotonin, which plays a role in mood and depression. So overall, right, in terms of anxiety and depression, even after a single bout of exercise, you have reduced feelings of stress and anxiety, and typically you're having fun as well. So over the long term, this really accumulates, and in the long term, you have a reduced risk of developing depression. It's often used as a first line of treatment as well. So in terms of improved cognition, in the short term, you have improved memory, attention, alertness, and focus, all right? So better productivity, better thinking. And over time, this helps reduce the risk of developing dementia, all right? Which, you know, as we know, is very debilitating disease. Lastly, in terms of the mental health benefits, there's better sleep, okay? So your quality of your sleep is improved. You have more deep sleep. You spend less time needing to fall asleep or rely less on medications in order to need to fall asleep. As well as the overall time that you're in bed, you actually spend more time sleeping. So all in all, exercise even helps you live longer. Only a few lifestyle choices have as large as an impact on your health as physical activity. So people who are physically active, you know, 150 minutes a week, have a 33% lower risk of all-cause mortality than those who are physically inactive. All right, this is what I mean by being a wonder drug. So, on to my recommendations. I, you know, listed many different benefits and exercise on the mind and the body, but you need to find your why. So why do you want to exercise? Why? Perhaps, you know, you're suffering with anxiety and unstable moods. Perhaps you have a really demanding job and you really need to focus, or perhaps you're not sleeping well and you want to sleep better, or dementia runs in your family and you want to help prevent, you know, developing dementia or dying from a heart attack early. So you need to find your why. Basically, you know, to understand why you're doing it. And then know that just like the physical activity guidelines say, some physical activity is better than none. So if you're doing nothing right now, well, 5 minutes is going to be better than 0 minutes, okay? So start to become aware of opportunities for movement, all right? We kind of don't think, for example, taking the stairs versus the elevator or the escalator, we kind of don't even think about it. We just do it. We follow everyone else. Well, perhaps, you know, you just take a moment to click, oh, maybe I'll take the stairs, you know, that'll increase my steps for the day. Or park your car farther away, or if you're taking public transportation, get off the bus stop one stop earlier. You can also wear like a smartwatch that shows you how many steps you're taking throughout the day if you really like data, or if you're not really sure how much you're moving, but that's not necessary. But what's important is that you choose something you enjoy. So if you hate running, don't start running, okay? Because you're not going to keep it up. You need to be you know, having fun and enjoying it. Otherwise, you're going to quit. The other thing is you need to be realistic. So again, as I said, if you're doing 0 minutes per week, start maybe instead of saying, oh, next week I'm going to go 5 days a week to the gym, I'm going to sign up and I'm going to go 1 hour each day. That's not very realistic, going from 0 to 5 days a week. So start small to build a habit. Perhaps you can go 10 minutes walk after lunch. And then the following week, you put it up to 15 minutes, then to 20 minutes, and then you build upon that success. But it's really important to be consistent, because many people start exercise programs and then, you know, after a few weeks, as you know, perhaps New Year's resolutions and so in February, it's done. So start something small and be consistent. Now, you don't have to do it alone, though. Find a coach or even just a workout partner to help keep you accountable and motivated. So in general, right, in these times now at home office, or as maybe next month as you start going back to work, etc. So what are some other recommendations? So at work, see if you can set up a dynamic workstation. What does that mean? It means trying to promote movement while you're working. Okay, so for example, to help you change positions often. So do you have maybe a sit to stand desk, or do you have a laptop that you can move to different positions? Or can you kind of do a stretch, or you know, do a stretch while you're working that you can still focus and concentrate? Try to change positions often and really take breaks. So my recommendation is 2 to 3 minutes, about every 30 minutes. So stretch or walk. There's plenty of stretches you could do still while sitting, although I recommend you getting up and really moving. And just in general, walk more, right? Get more steps somehow. Can you walk while you're on the phone, on a phone call? Perhaps not in a teleconference, but see if you can add a little bit of activity during your workday. And one thing I find a lot with my professionals is that, you know, in between meetings or something, they go to grab a coffee. Feeling low energy, go to grab a second coffee, and then on and on and on. They're having so many coffees. And then coffee is a stimulant, which then causes later, you know, a crash. And so it's kind of this up and down. Consider perhaps instead moving instead of grabbing another coffee, okay? Especially if you're sensitive to caffeine. So think, can you move instead of grabbing another coffee? And lastly is limiting screen time. So we know that sitting, okay, is an independent risk factor for chronic diseases. And screen time, right, your mobile device, your computer, your TV, we have screens everywhere. In fact, just limiting that can help maybe you do other things, right, that are physically active. And then specifically during confinement now, so perhaps there's a lot of household chores to be done these days, like washing dishes, mopping the floor, doing yard work. You can actually see that as an opportunity for health benefits. It probably doesn't seem like it at the moment, but you can, okay? So it's choosing a different perspective on that. If you have kids at home, you can involve them in the physical activity and just play spontaneous games like kids do. So play tag with them. Can you play catch? If you can get outdoors with them, go for a family walk. Do an online yoga class with them at home. Jump on the trampoline, you know, whatever, or even through a video call. If you're a grandparent, for example, then do that. Do some funny challenge with the kid that way. Basically, in this time now, realize that you don't need a gym. You can get in a good workout from home using minimal equipment. And this is something that I really specialize in, because I do in-home training with minimal equipment. And I think people are realizing in the last few weeks that it's definitely possible to stay fit from home. But getting outdoors, right, in particular, going out into the fresh air and sunshine provides an added benefit, right, for the immune system, for lowering stress, and for getting vitamin D from the sunshine into its active form. So, you know, be silly, even put on your favorite song or playlist and go dance, grab your partner and dance. Basically, you know, you can be spontaneous. It doesn't take, you know, you don't have to do a 30-minute exercise session. A 20-minute, you know, stair climb or something, it all adds up in the end. So what I'd like you to take away from this is that, remember, our bodies were made to move. So move more and sit less. And remember, exercise is medicine. Remember to take your medicine on a daily basis.
That's amazing, Diana. Thank you very much. I really like the thing with the stairs, because I have a stairs as well. So I always, you know, thinking about how it's demanding for me, but now it's actually beneficial having no lift and having the stairs. So thanks very much. Yes, the next person is Diana. So Danna is going to talk a little bit about healthy diets and how that reflects on our body and mind. Danna?
Great. Thank you, Eliza, and thank you, Diana. That was pretty awesome. I want you to raise your hand, despite the fact that I can't see some of you. Raise your hand if you have a car, ever drove a car, or were ever driven in one. Right? That's probably all of us. Now, I want you to think hard when I ask the next question. Would you ever think of giving your car the wrong gasoline or the wrong type of oil? And keep your hand up if you said yes to that question. That's a no. I guarantee that no one, not even those who don't own a car, would ever think of giving their car the wrong oil or gasoline. We expect our car to safely bring us places without breaking down on the way. Now, let's ask ourselves another question. Why do we as humans choose to give our bodies the wrong fuel every single day? The bodies that we expect to take us from one place to another safely without breaking down, without aches and pains and illnesses, the bodies that we expect to last a lot longer than our own car. This question has bothered me for a very long time. So much so that it became an obsession, which became a change in lifestyle, which became a business. You see, my mentor, my best friend, role model, and grandmother, the woman who always worried if everyone was eating enough, staying fit and healthy, she passed away weighing less than 40 kilos. Now, I practically grew up at grandma's house. During the week and on the weekends, we would spend every waking hour there, often with my cousins as well.
Can't hear anything. Did we lose Danna?
I think she was, yeah, she break, I think. Just let me check. Let me see. Sorry about that, but it's technology, so I hope she'll be back with us. Let's see for a couple of minutes.
Eliza, maybe you could send her a chat.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I just,
Okay.
yeah.
You could reboot.
Very much, yeah, that's a great, let me see.
See, North America has woken up, so they're zooming all over the place.
Yeah, that's the thing, and we have a weak connection, but let's wait 1 minute. I think she'll be back. I think I also got a couple of questions, so I mean, this question will be answered at the end. Just that, yeah. Let's see.
Sorry about that. Can everyone hear me?
Danna, are you there?
Yes, I'm back. I have no clue what just happened. I'm so sorry.
That's no problem. It's happening all the time because everybody using internet, and so yeah. So happy that you're back anyway. So yeah, you can continue.
Okay, let me jump back in. I'm sorry about that. I have no clue what just happened. Right, so it doesn't matter what your answer was when she asked if you ate something, you'd get a plate full of food. There was always delicious smells of something cooking on the stovetop. If it was, you know, it's filling up the house with scents that I'll never forget. Rice and soup and lentils and vegetables and meat and sauces and stews. You name it, she made it. But most importantly, she made it with love. She would always let us help around the kitchen and shared her recipes, and we would end up going shopping with her. Now, in Grandma's world, food was health. She was always up to date with the latest health hypes and made sure her family only got what was considered really healthy. Now, little did she know that her schooling was in fact big food company propaganda. Butter was soon replaced with margarine. Avocado was said to have too much fat, and her own arthritis she treated by eating heaps of milk products. Grandma battled for 4 years with lymphoma, that's a cancer. When I was 5 months pregnant, Grandma passed away. The strongest woman I've ever known could not walk alone to the toilet on her last months on earth. She couldn't taste the flavor of the food from all the chemo. She didn't want to eat anyways. Now, losing Grandma was a huge wake-up moment for me. I started studying and investigating, following on all the top experts in the field. I wanted to know why. Why someone who cares so much about her health died of such a terrible disease and suffered from so many other chronic illnesses. Now, what I know now, after 10 years of dedication and thousands of hours of studying and investigating, is life-changing. It changed my life, it changed my family's life, and I've managed to help many families out there along the way. Now, these are important notes. What I found out was, 1, food companies don't care about your health. They only care about your constant consumption. 2, only your body knows what is actually good for it, so you better listen carefully. 3, there's no magic superfood or one special diet, which is the diet for all humankind. 4, cleaning up your day-to-day menu is the cure for almost everything. And 5, anyone can do it with the right guidance and support. But the biggest and most important thing I learned this whole time was that people treat their cars better than they do their own bodies. Okay, so I would love for you to start treating your bodies like they're the only source of transportation you've got from today until the day that you die, because they are, and replacement parts are scarce. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why am I rambling on about my grandmother and what should I actually eat? Well, what I do with my clients is help them figure out what's the right nutrition for their bodies, which again is never going to be the same for each person. We work on slow and sustainable goals and changes that last a lifetime. But there are, of course, general things that every single person out there should follow, food and lifestyle related. Number 1, we should all have more fruits and vegetables in our diet. We're talking about a good 50% of your plate, if not 75, should be good, beautiful vegetables, okay? Eat the rainbow. Please try all different colors, all different shapes and sizes of vegetables. Try to focus on organic and local, okay? I don't know if I have time because we got cut off. I don't know if I have time to go into why you want to have organic, but trust me, it's not just a hype. You will be getting a lot more nutrients and you will strengthen your immune system a lot more by sticking to organic. Local will just promise you that you're also going to be getting more nutrients from the vegetable or from the fruit because it traveled a lot less, and you're supporting smaller businesses hopefully as well. Skipping sugar. Everyone knows that by now that sugar is not the greatest thing to put in our bodies. Processed sugar, of course. I'm not talking about beautiful sugars like fruits and maybe some dried fruit and, you know, maple and honey. Talking about the processed stuff that usually is accompanied by many, if not most, of the products out there. Skipping flour-based foods, I would say, is also one of the big ones that we're learning more and more about nowadays. Okay, flour-based foods, even if it's from a whole grain, immediately turns into sugar in our body. The enzymes that activate as soon as we start biting on the food will help it turn into sugar. If you're eating a whole grain as it is, right, properly cooked and soaked, you'll be getting a lot more nutrients than if you're eating just a flour-based, a bread or a pasta or something like that, okay? I'm not saying never ever have these things. I'm just saying crowd them out, okay? Try not to have them as much as you most probably are, most people do. I want to agree with Diana as well. Vitamin D and getting it directly from the sun is really important. Excuse me. It is really important. It's important to strengthen our immune system, and it means that you're out in the fresh air, which is already a good thing. Okay. Now, if we're talking about lifestyles, stress is a huge one. We want to try and live with as little stress as we possibly can. Of course, certain things are going to stress us out, if it's kids, if it's a job, or if it's the coronavirus. But what we want to do is try to figure out what is actually worth our stress and what isn't. And I can guarantee you that about 95% of the things that you're stressing about are actually not in your control and make zero sense to stress about. Forgiving yourself is a huge one. We constantly speak to ourselves in a way that we would never dare to speak to anyone else around us. Okay, we'll belittle ourselves, and you know, if I may speak in a filthy mouth, you know, we break our own balls about, you know, oh, I just had a pizza, or I just had a tub of ice cream, and I'm terrible, and I'm just gonna have now another something because, you know, I just ruined everything. Instead of going that kind of spiral, just forgive yourself and love yourself and start again. And if you do that, first of all, you find the compassion for yourself that you actually deserve, that every human being on this earth, well, most deserve. And you will actually be able to get back on the healthy route much, much faster and easier. Okay. And the last thing that I would say is gratitude. I think gratitude is a huge thing that can help us work on a brain rewiring. We're often naturally thinking about negative things. Our brain saves energy that way. If we start working on gratitude, if we look at, you know, every night when you go to sleep, think about 3 beautiful things that happened to you that day, or that you saw, or that you experienced, and write them down. That will help you go to sleep a little bit easier because you're thinking of positive things rather than looping the negative in your head. And it's also going to, after at least 21 days, it will actually start you off on a nice brain rewiring of looking for more positive and actually accepting it and seeing it more. Okay, because a lot of good and positive things happen to us every single day. We're just gravitating to remember the negative, unfortunately. Okay, that's pretty much it. I tried to shove it in really quickly because of my disappearance, but that's pretty much the gist of how to live a healthier lifestyle. Now, of course, there's no quick pill or easy way around it. It takes a little bit of work, but with the right coaching and the right environment around you, it's really easy. It's actually very doable, and it's not something that feels depriving or sad, like the yo-yo diets that Diana talked about. You're able to enjoy your life a lot more. You're able to connect with your body a lot more. And feeling good feels good. I guarantee it.
Great. Thanks very much, Danna. I love it. I think everybody will as well. So, by the way, I'm doing gratitude exercise as well. It's working for me as well. So I always, each evening, remember to write 5 things I'm really grateful for. And, you know, that's a powerful. Great. Thanks very much. And now we have Eva. She's going to take us through about easy steps to detox.
Hi, everybody. Very glad to be here and be able to talk to you. All right. My first book about healthy lifestyle I read 24 years ago, and I never stopped since then. Then in 2016, I decided, okay, let me put it together. Let me put all the puzzle together, go to school. And since last year, I am a health holistic coach, and I love what I'm doing. And today I will be talking to you about simple detox method, which everyone can implement in their life. And the word is simple, because I know the word detox is heavy. Not everybody will like to detox. Some people will associate the word with sacrifice. Oh no, I can't go and have my beer now. I cannot eat my nice food. I will not be able to go out with friends. So detox is a word that scares, okay? So today I will be talking about light version of detox, a simple version, which is the cleansing, all right? Something everybody can do in daily life, something that doesn't bring the negative side effects of the real detox, and something that you can do for the rest of your life. Okay, so let me start quickly with the methods. Very first one, can you hear me well? Because I don't have the headphones. Okay. So the first one will be warm lemon water in the morning. And you take it really after you wake up, before you have your coffee, before you have your breakfast, before you do anything else. The warm water, 1, 2, 3 glasses if you want, if you can, will detoxify your organs, will bring the fluid into your body, will give you gentle start into a day, but most important, will detoxify, all right? Very nice. Second thing will be aloe vera. I am a big fan of aloe vera. And what I do, I like to buy fresh products. So I buy the leaf, I cut the gel out, and I put it in my water or in my smoothie. And why aloe vera? Aloe vera is a great thing to detoxify your gut, okay? If you have any conditions of inflammation or, irritation, gut problems, aloe vera will be the plant of your first choice to eliminate all those health conditions. Do it regularly, you will feel benefits after a while. Okay, vegetable juices. Already Diana said about how grateful veggies are. Indeed, if you drink juices, veggie juices, they will bring a lot of nutrition. They will give you plenty of vitamins, minerals. They are rich of enzymes. And I do say to everyone, have your juice fresh. It must be raw and fresh. If you buy the juice at the shop, yes, you will still get the benefit. It's better than Red Bull or Fanta, but it will not be raw. It will not be fresh. So if you have a juicer at home, half job is already done. Buy your veggies, whatever you like, press your juice, have it, drink it, increase the fluid intake into your daily routine. All right, next one, and many people do not know it. It's bitter substances. This is something that our liver will produce. Bitter substances are in plants, and our liver will use them to produce bile. Bile, as probably everyone knows, is something that helps us to digest fat. But bile is also a fluid that our liver will use to detoxify. If you are a person that, let's say, takes medicines for your headache, for your toothache, or women, the anti-baby pills, you will be pleased to hear that actually the bitter substances will help to get out the residuals of the medicines out of your body. So you can maybe have your ginger water. Ginger has some bitter substances, or wormwood, yarrow, artichokes, dandelion, cardamom. These are all the plants that have bitter substances, and you should slowly but surely implement them in your life. What also is important, the bitter substances will fight your sugar cravings. It was already said before, sugar is not good for you. Sugar is a toxin, and if you increase your intake of bitter substances, you will be able to fight your sugar cravings. If you do not like those plants, you can buy supplement. So you can actually have it, in like drops, few drops in the water, have it before you eat. And this is gonna be a wonderful tool to detoxify. Right, I'm gonna go now to chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green stuff in plants, okay? It's the blood of the plants. And chlorophyll is a wonderful detoxifier for our blood. If you think you have toxic blood, or maybe your doctor told you, hey, your blood is thick and sticky and it has lots of toxins, try chlorophyll. Chlorophyll will detoxify your blood. If you have any skin conditions like rashes or red spots, or your skin is not clear, it most probably is because your blood is toxic. So implement some chlorophyll in your life. What you do, have some plants, all the plants that are really green, very dark green, like leafy greens, you know. You can also take some spirulina or nettle or wheatgrass, barley grass. You can also buy pulver, put it in your water or in your smoothie, have it on a daily basis. You will also see very soon the benefits. Very good. The next step, nothing to eat. Now we're gonna be talking about some other stuff like trampolines. The little trampolines that you can put in your living room, in your sleeping room. I always compare it with the keyboard of your computer. If you take your keyboard, you slip it and you shake it. You all know what's coming out of it, right? Lots of dirt and dust and, you know, maybe yesterday's bread because you ate while you were working. It's amazing. Try it. I did try, and that's why, you know, the comparison to the trampolines. And this is what you're gonna do with your body. Once you bounce on it, you know, your every cell in the body will shake off the dirt. Every single cell. It will be taken away from your body. Remember, you must drink enough, right? If you detoxify, you need to drink. So when the cells are shaking off the dust, the dirt, the germs, the viruses, pathogens, you will be able to give it away to the lymph fluid and then take it out of your body. 10 minutes per day. So we know sport is important. Everyone should do it. But if you have a day, I really couldn't. Have your trampoline bounce 10 minutes per day, and something you could already do for your body. The next one, and one of my favorites, will be oil pulling. Somebody probably never heard what is oil pulling. You take a spoon of sesame oil or coconut oil, you put it in your mouth and you move it around, you swirl it in your mouth, and this is a wonderful tool to detoxify your mouth, okay? If you have problems with receding gums, decay, inflammation, or bleeding gums, do it for 5 minutes a day, up to 20 minutes, okay? And spit it out. It's important you spit out the whole oil, because it will be then sticky. It is because in this oil you will have all the pathogens, the bacteria, the viruses, so it is important to take it out of your mouth. If you do it for nearly 20 minutes, you will also in such a way detoxify your blood. So not only the mouth area, but also the blood. So great thing, I do it every day now since 8 years, 20 minutes every day. It is really not a problem. You can have your shower, you can do whatever you want, prepare, you know, water and do the oil pulling. Wonderful. Dry brushing, something lovely for women. They love it. They like, before they go into the shower, they will go and they will have this brush or the glove and they will dry brush the skin before you put any water on your body. This is something that will activate your lymph fluid, okay? Again, this is so important that our lymph is moving, because, you know, our blood is moved by the heart, but our lymph needs to be moved through the movements. We need to do the sport, or we need to bounce on the trampolines, or we need to massage ourselves so the lymph is indeed moving and we are detoxifying. So do it 2-3 times per week or every day if you want. If you do not have any skin irritation, obviously it is very individual. You need to know what's good for you. All right. And there is 1 or 2 more which I want to mention. Sleep. It was also discussed before. Sleep. While you sleep, your body regenerates. In fact, while you sleep, it's the only time where your brain regenerates. So you need to have decent amount of sleep. I know it's difficult nowadays because, you know, the Netflix and the Facebook and the friends and anything can happen in your life. And then you go, bam, it's 12 o'clock, you go to sleep. Try to go to sleep earlier. Try to see it as your detox method, because your body has the time during the night to regenerate. If you didn't have your pizza, you know, at 12 o'clock in the evening or during the night, you will also not be digesting. If you are not digesting, you regenerate, you detoxify. And one more, the last one, I promise. When you wake up, before you switch on your PC or your telephone, you are still in bed, have your 5 minutes of meditation. If you say, okay, I cannot meditate, I do not know how to do it. Okay, stay in bed, just think what you wanna do during this day, just what was also said before, be grateful that you are awake, that you made another day, that you're healthy, connect with yourself, be gentle to yourself, and only day go into the next day, right? Very good. Why do we have to detoxify? I mean, the Mother Nature designed our body to actually detoxify by itself. So why do we have to do it? And I think the reason for that is because we live in such a toxic world. It is amazing. I mean, it's not only the air and the water, it's not only the food, but it's also our stressful life. It's the clothes we are wearing, it's the cosmetics we are using. You know, it's the neighbor that is stressing. The environment and the world is extremely toxic. We need to help our body to detoxify. And the biggest organ, the queen, the king together of the detoxification is our liver. Liver is working every day, every hour to detox your body, right? And I would say nearly, maybe not every, but nearly every condition, health challenge, like the mental challenge, the physical, emotional, comes or originates from sluggish liver, from overloaded liver. So you need to really give your liver a break. You need to look after your liver. And while you sleep, like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, your liver will start to distribute the toxins which you made harmless, and before she will start to distribute through your kidney and through your gut for elimination. Okay, so while you sleep, the liver is doing the job, and when you wake up, it is so important to drink. This is the most important thing you can do in the morning, to drink, because if you do not drink enough water in the morning, there is no way the toxins can get out of your body. So what is going to happen? They will going to be reabsorbed in your body. They're going to stay in your body, and you actually poison yourself, you know? So you need to drink to give a proper flush to your liver and take all the toxins out. I recommend everybody to have the water first, up to half a liter, if you want, if you can, if you're able to do that. All right, if people ask me, okay, so many information, so how do I start? I am a complete, you know, I'm a new person to that. I've never done anything like that. What do I do? I will always say, choose 3 things. 3 things that you will do on a daily basis. You will make it a routine in your life. You will not forget, and you will actually have fun with that. So you choose some of the methods for yourself which suit you. Everybody is different, so you need to be conscious of what you want. Put it on your fridge, the points what you want to do, and do it every day. It doesn't help you do it for a week, okay? It needs to be a routine for the rest of your life. If you decide after weeks or months, okay, this is maybe, you know, the oil pulling is not my thing, but maybe the trampoline is my thing, do it. But you need to really be focused, and you need to make an effort to have it in your life, to be thoughtful, to think about it. Okay, I really need to make it happen. Nobody is gonna do it for you. You have to be the one that is in charge. All right, and the last topic, because we don't have that much time anymore. the webinar is actually about mind and body connection. I know nowadays we are very disconnected with ourselves, okay? We are very much connected with everybody else through the internet, social media, and, you know, talking and chatting and being together, but we are disconnected with ourselves. Our body is here, our mind is here. We are not one, all right? So what do we do to actually bring those two things together? And my colleagues before already mentioned few things which are wonderful, and I just want to give one tip. Try to make a conscious breathing, okay? Mindful breathing. You actually make your time and you say to yourself, now I'm gonna sit down on the couch or maybe in the forest, I go for a walk, and the only thing I do is I breathe. I breathe in and breathe out, but deep. It must be really deep, all right? Like this, you will start to de-stress. You will start to live in present. You will be connected. You know, we are living so in the past or in the future. We just miss the moment. We miss being in present. So while you are breathing and you think only about that you are breathing, then this is how you connect. Your body and the mind come together. And the good thing about breathing, mindful breathing, is you still detoxify. People, this is wonderful. You detoxify because while you breathe out, you breathe the carbon dioxide, which the more you have it out, the better your pH of your fluids in your organs become. So if you breathe out, you also getting benefit of detox. So make your time. I would say 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. Breathe in, breathe out 10 times deeply, and think about you being in this moment. Connect your body and your mind for your better well-being, for being happy, for your health, for your future. So yeah, I hope you liked what I talked about, and yeah, we'll be happy to hear any question. Thank you very much for your attention.
Eva, thank you very much. It was very good. I love it. And yeah, for me, I'm drinking a water in the morning, so it's working. But there's some more useful things. So I learned today. So thank you very much. Yeah, we have a couple of questions. So maybe I will go through each one of them. There are different people, and we're out of time, so we don't want to keep people too long. So you can always contact us. I can leave here our info@discovernew.net. That is our contact email, and that will be recorded, so you'll get it as well again, just to remind all the tips. And of course, the coaches are here for you anytime, so they can ask you also. You can ask them and schedule a session with them separately. And I think first session is for free, so it's worth it. So we have now a question to actually for Diana. How can I bring a person that doesn't do any kind of exercise to do some? So the first question is to Diana.
Yeah, so that's an excellent question, and I deal with this in my own family as well. So one thing to not do, I'll already tell you, is to pester them that they should be doing this and that and this and that. All right, that is the worst way to go about it, because they will never do it. All right, providing support, okay, in a caring way. So, for example, if you know that they enjoy one type of activity, you know, or maybe even in the past. So, for example, if they like to dance, you know, or maybe haven't danced for 20 years, but like to dance in the past, see if you can maybe, you know, turn on some music and that sort of thing. Something to encourage past enjoyable activities. Okay, because it needs to be fun, otherwise they're not going to want to do it. The other thing is you can invite them, right? You invite them to do something together, something that's active. And the simplest thing is to go for a walk. Hey, do you want to go for a walk? You know, we'll chat together. So your friend that always invites you to the bar, you know, to have a drink, well, maybe you can instead, you know, this time, do you want to go for a walk instead? All right. Or if it's a family member, an older family member, you know, you propose something in a caring way. So it's all about the approach. You can never force someone to do something. You say, you know, it's always your decision. You choose. And by having this kind of approach where the power is in their hands, they're more likely to listen to you. Okay, so it's not going to be something that, you know, maybe it'll work after the first time you ask, but after repetitive questions, you know, repetitive times, you never know. Maybe they've had a bad day, you know, they don't want to do anything, but after time and time again, maybe they'll say yes, and that'll be the start of their journey. So we're all on different journeys in terms of our fitness level and where we're at in terms of exercise, and that changes over time. But just having a caring approach and say, would you like to, and create different invitations. That's what I would say.
Right, thank you very much. If you can stay with us for 1 more minute. So the next question is as well to you. What does you think about the application on a 7-minute workout? Is it good or?
So the 7-minute workout is a type of muscle strengthening activity as well as cardio in one. So it's what we call high intensity interval training, HIIT. And this is a great time saver for someone who doesn't have that much time and wants to get in a little bit of both. All right, what it is typically you have a period of intense exercise for one muscle group, all right, for example, push-ups, and then followed by a really short rest period of 10 seconds. All right, so you're going constantly, push-ups into lunges, into jumping jacks. All right, so it does meet the physical activity guidelines of involving all the large muscle groups of the body, and your heart is pumping throughout the same time. So actually, I think it's quite good. There's many versions of the 7-minute workout online, or you could, you know, in an application on your mobile phone, or you could just do something on YouTube as well. So yes, I do recommend it.
Sorry, thank you, Danna. Okay, great. I think this question with Eva, a question is about body brushing. So does this need to be done in strokes in a particular direction, towards or away from the heart? So what's the technique here?
Okay. Okay. You definitely do it from the bottom of your body towards your heart, never from the heart, okay? If you are very unsure, there are plenty videos on YouTube how to do it, but yeah, you are coming from down of the body, so from the ankles towards the heart, okay? And you do it like this, so those round movements, okay? And yeah, it should be done that way.
Yeah, and one more for that additional, the type of the brush. So does it need to be a specific brush that's for usage, or?
Well, yes, you know, you have, for example, a brush for sauna. This is the mistake I made a few years ago. I went to the shop and I bought the brush, which was actually the one that you use in sauna. So it's not for the body, for the body purpose. But nowadays, if you go to special shops that sell good brushes, you know, you call it organic shops, basically. They will specifically sell brushes or the gloves, okay, for dry brushing of the skin. So you will need to read the label. There is not every brush is for the skin brush, for the dry brush.
Okay, thank you very much, Eva. Now a question to Danna. Any tips to have a good sleep? Any herbal tea? Ideally, what's the best time to wake up in the morning? So it's for Danna.
Thanks, Eliza. That's an awesome question. Actually, sleep is so underrated nowadays. So I really do love this question. because a lack of sleep or lack of good sleep will actually affect our food choices as well. We'll usually navigate towards sweets and high carbs when we're lacking energy, and caffeine, of course. So when we're lacking energy. And so to get a good night's sleep is super duper important. And I have a few actually points for that one. First, I'll talk about the drinking because both of the other ladies were talking about drinking as well. I would definitely recommend drinking more from the moment you wake up and more during the first part of the day, let's say, or the morning and noon hours, rather than forgetting to drink and only drinking like from the afternoon onwards, because that would also interrupt you. You'll have to wake up and pee, right? So try to focus on drinking during the morning hours and onwards. The coffee is an important one. Please try to keep to coffee. There's nothing bad about coffee unless you're sensitive to caffeine, which I am, so I know it's terrible for me. But if you drink coffee, try to focus on maybe 2 cups of coffee, black preferably, and until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the very latest, if not noon already. Coffee will affect your sleep and your sleep quality. Of course, also sugar, you don't want to have towards the evening. If you're having it, preferably not, but if you're having it, don't have it in the evening. It will interrupt your sleep as well. When we talk about carbohydrates, actually carbs, if you're having carbs, then definitely navigate towards having them in the evening because they will help your sleep a little bit better. But one very, very important thing that I think most of us are not actually doing is keeping electronics out of your bedroom. Okay, this is something that I see which makes a huge difference for every single one of my clients. They'll come and they'll, talk to me about their sleep and that they're not sleeping well and they're super tired. And we just remove the electronics from their bedroom and they already see a huge, huge result in terms of quality of sleep, length of sleep. They don't wake up and, immediately check their phone. So, ideally you don't want to use screens a couple of hours before you go to sleep, but that's not very realistic nowadays, I think. I don't even manage that. But what I do make sure is to not keep the electronics anywhere near my bedroom. And you will see definitely results with that. There's, for drinks, so you asked about herbal tea, Mona. There are definitely herbal teas that you can find that are already kind of like titled, sleep, good night, and things like that, which will have a bunch of herbs that will already contribute to your sleep. I think that's probably the easiest way to go about it because it's also, they're probably going to be more palatable than trying single ones right now and then noticing that you don't like this one or you don't like that one and that you're reacting maybe to one in a different way, which, like I said, there's no one diet that fits all and there's no one herb that will necessarily definitely work for you. So I think the combination ones are great. There's also the golden milk, which I don't know if you've heard of, but it's just a mix of, I use cashew milk or coconut milk or some plant-based milk mixed with turmeric and a little bit of black pepper and a little bit of cinnamon and cardamom. So you can add some spices that are relaxing and calming. And that really, really does help to also find your calm and fall asleep. I've also heard of the banana tea. I don't know if the other experts actually know about this one and can give another idea about that one. I do have a friend who swears by it, and she just boils bananas and drinks the water. I don't know. I've never tried it. It sounds interesting, but she swears that it helps. So that's another one that you can definitely consider. But what I would say is, make sleep a priority. So if, you also asked about what time to wake up in the morning. Again, you'll have some researches about sleep in general. Sleep, they had the latest research that they did was a huge one where they checked about how many hours of sleep are ideal. And they were talking about somewhere between 6 to 8 hours are ideal. Anything more or less than that will contribute to heart problems and things like that. So what you want to do is try to notice for yourself when you wake up naturally. Aim for those between 6 to 8 hours, see what works for you. But it is important to try to go to sleep at an early-ish time so that you wake up in a natural way. So if you can possibly go to bed around somewhere between 10 and 11, you'll definitely see a big improvement also in your quality of sleep and be able to sleep to wake up naturally.
Yeah, great. Thanks very much, Danna. Very, very beneficial for us. And I think we have a last question to Diana. Again, what about sport in the late afternoon? And its effects on the sleep as well? What to do if it's the only time in the day that's available to make a sport? So in the late afternoon.
Yeah, so anytime you can get in sport throughout the day and exercise and physical activity, get it in, all right, is my recommendation, all right? I did discuss how it does have effects on better sleep, improving your sleep quality. If evening time is the only time, you know, after work, a long day at work is the only time you can get it in then. However, the only exception would be if you have high intensity exercise in the last hour before going to bed. Okay, so maybe if you know you're going to sleep at 11 p.m. and you only have 10 to 11 p.m. to exercise, perhaps do something lighter like some sort of yoga session or something like that.
Great, thanks very much. Yeah, you have a great feedback. You have great feedback, useful input. People say. So if anyone has the last question, they can ask now. Or as I mentioned before, you can contact us directly. I'll leave our email address or have a session with the coaches as well, just to see if that will be beneficial for you. So any last question? Are we going to do this again, this webinar? Yeah, we are. We are going to create lots of educational webinars about health. I mean, this is the most important at the moment in the times, to keep healthy and to exercise. And of course, we are going to do lots of videos, lots of interesting blogs, and yeah, for sure. So just to follow us, follow our website. You will have like a follow-up email with audio recording as well, and invitation to any other webinars for sure. So no more questions. There's no more question, I think, but all the 15 people stay until 10 to 7, so that means it was very good, amazing. So yeah, it was very, very, really informative for me as well. So thank you very much for joining, everybody, and our amazing coaches, Diana, Eva, and Danna. And yeah, let's get in touch and contact us if you need any session to book with them. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.